welcome back to another edition of Trans Gurus. And this week we have an interesting topic. I think it could be quite controversial based on people's stereotypes and the way they feel a, a certain look has to apply to a certain type of person. So the title of this show is 50 Shades of Trans. And you all will see what we're talking about as the show goes along. So, up first is the beautiful Portia Keys, but international, honey. She's been all over the world. Miss Ella.
Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. It's nice to talk with you. It's nice to be always with you and try to tell something. You know, we've been doing Transguru now for about 1.5 years. Well, not exactly.
1 year, one
3
year
months.
and about a month. 1 year
3 months.
tops, a year and a month.
Yeah, something like that. And we've been doing lots of posts, and we've got lots of people which we adore. And sometimes there are some people which don't understand really what transgender is, because, and I think that when we're talking about 50 shades of transgender, we have to understand we are a spectrum, a really big spectrum. So what I would like to tell you today and talk to you about today is that we are a huge family, but it is a very, a family with many different types of people. Literally, there are two very big, let's put it this way, categories. One is the binary transgender, that means male to female and female to male. And the other one is the non-binary. The non-binary, as probably some people would call them, the two spirits. They are people which do not feel they belong to one side or the other. And then there's kind of a lot of siblings which go around, like the intersex, like many, pansexuals. They are all part of this huge family called transgender people. Well, we're actually not so huge because we only represent about 0.7 to 1% of the population.
We're small, but we are important.
We are very important. And and don't forget, as the name says, we are transgender, meaning we are going from one side to the other. And meaning that don't think that you are a transgender, you arrive to the finish line. It's continuous. We're always changing. But that's for everybody. Everybody's always changing. Some of the non-binary become binary one day. Some of the cross-dressers today, they become real transgenders. Binary or non-binary transgenders. But we are a very diverse family and a really nice family. But you know what? Whoever you are, as in this family, you've got the right to be respected. And you have the right to work. You have the right to live. You have the basic human rights like everybody else. And we should never forget it. I can talk from my experiences. I know many people which are, non-binary, for example. Non-binary people, and we do love them, but sometimes they are really difficult to understand. We always like to tell our pronouns. I'm a she, trans men are his, non-binary are they. We respect them, but sometimes it's difficult for many people to understand what they mean. How do you visualize these sometimes very androgynous people? They are great. And, it's the way they are. And you're welcome to our family. it's very funny because we just had a couple of years ago something called trans art, which is a kind of an art and kind of an art meeting for 3 days with transgender people. And there is this person which came as a man one day, as a woman the other day, and as a man the third day. So everybody was very, what's that? He's that person, they, is non-binary. And we should accept it. Right now, we know that there is a very big explosion of non-binary people in our community, mainly the very young. And, we are very welcome. Just be sometimes a little bit more clearer. And I ask you something, don't be so sensitive, because sometimes people have a little bit of difficulty to grasp what you are all about. But be clear about what you want and what you expect from other people. Mainly, be very clear about the pronouns that you want to be called. Otherwise, people have a tendency to tell the wrong thing. So this is more or less what I would like to tell about the 50 Shades of Trans. We are all beautiful. By the way, we didn't talk about the age, because when you talk about 50 Shades of Trans, there's transgender people from 5 to 100, all ages, all states. When you're talking about binary, we're talking about post-op and pre-op. There's so many things that we have to think about. But everybody is an individual and everybody is beautiful. You are beautiful. And if you are a supporting person of transgender people, please respect us and please help us to be, respected. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Miss Ella. Thank you for sharing. And you shared a lot of wonderful things, but I kept thinking about the percentage of the population that we represent in the world. And what struck me is that even though we're a small population, that by no means diminishes us. It makes us even more precious and special. So and I think that's a wonderful thing for people to remember too, when they're trying to embrace whoever they are and what type of trans person they are. So on that note,
and
I
if I
love
may add, sister, don't forget, even in the United States alone, we are 300 million people. 1% represents 3 million transgender. It's not that small. It's not that small.
That's true. That's true. So now I would like to toss it to my bonbon. Bonnie, honey, but she's bonbon to me.
Well, it's hard to follow that introduction, but what I try to stay away from the news, and I try to stay away from all negativity, and I do the Facebook for the trans gurus, and it blows me away and how many people try to put transgender people in a box. And if you're transgender, you have to have a certain political thing. If you're transgender, you have to be a certain way. If you're transgender, male to female, and your appendage or penis or whatever you want to call it, is it okay to use it? We just put a video up today. And one of the trans girls that we've known for many years, she gave a real honest to God truth that most trans people will never admit.
Wow.
And she talked about how even though she's trans and she's more in the pansexual, and as far as attracting to people, she's attracted more to the person than she is the male with the female. And she goes on, but they got in some questions like, penis, do you use it? Do you not use it? Is it forbidden? Is it this? Is it that? I'm not trying to get involved in sex, but what I'm trying to say is there's so many people that may think, oh, this is forbidden, or oh, this is that. And the only reason I'm even talking about this is I keep seeing all these people, oh, you're not transgender because of this, or you're not transgender because of that. Listen, you can be a tomboy trans man. You can be a tomboy trans woman. You can be a butch. I mean, what I'm trying to say is nobody has a right to tell you how you should be. You should be how the hell you want to be. And you should relate how you want to relate. You should feel how you want to relate. And if you're a trans man and you want to be with a woman or you want to be with a man, it doesn't matter. And if you're a trans woman and you want to be with a woman or you want to be with a man, it doesn't matter. It's what works for you. And for people to try to take people and put them into these boxes that if you're really trans, you'll act this way, you'll dress that way, you'll do this, you'll do that. Listen, there's some trans women that are more of a woman as far as makeup, hair, clothes, than 90% of your women could ever be. And then there's trans women like me that are, we get by. But the point, what I'm trying to say is that there's a big spectrum. I am who I am and I'm happy with it. I'm okay with it. And if you don't like it, well, I get up in the morning and I look at myself in the mirror. I'm the one that pays my bills. I'm the one that does all this stuff. So therefore, I should have a right to be who I want to be. And what I'm not bringing this about me, what I'm bringing it about whoever you are, whatever works for you. And okay, a lot of times when you're first transitioning, it's much harder to pass and it's much harder to undo all that crap that's been piled on your head, depending on the age that you're transitioning. If you transition at 10, 12, 14, 15, you never go through any of that. You pass it, you bypass it, and you only live the experience of a cis person. But if you're older and you have to go through all that, it's okay. You got to go through it. You know what? I don't care if you're a cis person or you're a transgender person. We all grow up. And in the process of growing up, we learn stuff. And there's no right, there's no wrong. Some people are a certain way, some people are a different way. And you know what? When you find somebody that's putting you down or somebody that's saying, oh, you're not really trans, you're not this, understand they don't feel good with themselves. They're trying to put you down to make them feel better with themselves. And if you understand where they're coming from, I don't know, you can go give them a hug. You can tell them that you love them. You can tell them that you're a piece of shit. I mean, excuse my language, but what I'm saying is you don't need to take on anything other than you being worried about you. Do it at your own pace. Some people go on hormones 2, 3, 4 years before they come out. Some people come out, go on hormones. Some people, there is, like you have a plan if you're going to build a house. And you do the foundation, you do this, you do this, you do that. But everybody can build a different type house. Some people might have a basement, some of them might be 3 stories, some might be 2 stories, some might have an elevator, some may not. Well, what I'm saying is the same thing with transgender. Some people may be more feminine, some people may be more skinny, some people may have bigger boobs, Some people may have a bigger ass. I mean, what I'm just trying to say is it's what Mother Nature gives you, and then with your surgery and all the other things that you go through. And if you do not want to have bottom surgery, that doesn't make you any less of a transgender person.
Of course not.
It's just, that's just where it is for you. Some people want it, but they can't afford it. Some people really don't want it. That's why some people go with in the trans women, the vaginas that have no depth to it, but they just want to get rid of the appendage. But anyway, my point, once again, and I'm not going to keep going on about it, is first of all, you got to love yourself, feel good about yourself, travel at your own pace. There's no book you can break out. Okay, after 6 months, you're supposed to be doing this. And in 9 months, you're supposed to be doing this. And in 2 years, you're supposed to have already had your surgery, been laid 14 times. And I mean, what I'm trying to say there, it's all just so abstract. And when people throw that at you, and when I see that, I saw something on today where people were knocking Caitlyn Jenner because she's a Republican. She can't be transgender. I mean, it blows my mind that people put all these labels and expectations and put all these things on you. The only thing I can say is everybody's entitled to be who they want to be. You be who you want to be. You feel good about who you are. You love yourself, and others will love you as well. And there is no right, there is no wrong. And it's all about the journey and enjoying the journey as you learn and you grow. And let me tell you something. I'm still learning. I'm still going through a journey, and I don't know. I mean, what I'm saying is I've been doing this for a whole lot of years. But if I was just a cis person, I would also be growing and learning as time goes on. So it's not like, oh, because you're trans, you're going through this and you're going through that. No, we all go through stuff. We all go through stuff, whether you're trans, you're cis, or whatever you are. And just so happens if you're trans and you're going through stuff and you're learning, you're growing. And we want to grow every single day, because I would like to think that I'm not the same person I was a year ago. I'd like to think that I'm a better person. I try to work every day to be a better person than I was the day before. But that's just me. But what I'm saying is some people may. Anyway, I'm sorry I'm going on. It's just the fact that everybody's got to be who they want to be, and love yourself, and you win. And that's all.
Well, Bon, boy, did you give us a mouthful today. Wow. Well, first I want to correct you. If you're not Democrat, you can't be trans.
Well, that was what I was trying to say. Maybe I said it backwards, but anyway.
I'm playing. No, but thank you. A lot of great information, and it's so true. I mean, I think what happens is, as a trans person transitioning, we are so critical of our own self. Like, and you're trying so hard to kind of be a part and like be, I guess, up to mark, whatever mark means, with the rest of the group. And so I know for me, when I started to transition, I had this thing of like how a woman should look, right? And then it hit me. I'm like, wait a minute. If you look at all the cisgendered women in the world, they all look different. Some are tall, some are short, some are skinny, some are fat, some are voluptuous, some are, just all the different looks. Some are masculine. There's some cisgendered women that have a masculinity to them. Some are extremely feminine, and so the diversity is just endless. I mean, it's just so many different types. And so why wouldn't we trans people be like that too? And then, like, as time went on and I started to really I guess, evolve consciously, I thought to myself, well, damn it, I was trans when I was that little boy at 4 going to kindergarten. I was trans, even though I didn't look like this. What I'm trying to say is it starts inside of all of us, before it comes out on the outside. As trans people, we're feeling it internally before we start to do steps to, alter our physical look so that it kind of matches, hopefully, the way we feel on the inside. But yeah, and all of us, I can almost guarantee. Well, let me just give it the benefit of the doubt. Not, let's say 95% of trans people had that in between stage, that gender non-conforming stage. Even if and it may have been for a short time, some may have lived it for a longer time, but we were all there. We were all there. So that's why, like, when the big debate of like the gender non-conforming, non-binary people started the last few years, I thought to myself, well, you know what? I was that at one time before I actually took the step and put my foot in the pool, for lack of a better phrase. It was like that was the time for me when I was able to kind of like, what I'm trying to say is I needed that time to help me to continue on my journey. So listen, last week I was blonde. This week I'm a ginger. So I got to be careful about going out in the sun. You know, I covered my freckles real good. You see? No, I'm playing. But what I'm trying to say is have fun. Have fun with your look, whatever that may mean to you. And it took me a while to get to that point. But now I'm at a point where, like, if I want to be blonde, if I want to have shorter hair, longer hair, curly hair, straight hair, put on a certain type of makeup, wear a certain type of outfit. I have fun with it because to me, it's just like expression, like the inner expression coming out from our spirit. And I've evolved to the point now where I try not to get too obsessed with my physical body anymore. um, I've always been very spiritual, and even when I was transitioning, I had sight of that. But now, even more than ever, I realize that the most important part of me is the spirit, my soul. And so I try to nurture that too. Yeah, of course, we want to look beautiful. We want to wear this dress and have whatever, the jewelry and all. But when it comes down to it, the beauty that I have, the light and love that I have that people connect with, it's coming from inside. Whether I had 48 H breast or A cup breast, it's my energy, my spirit, my soul that comes through. And so I want to encourage everyone watching, stay connected to that, because that will be your guiding force. It's so important to stay plugged in to spirit. That I believe is the foundation for everything as we journey through this life, and especially for us transgender people. We have quite a journey in this life being trans. So definitely stay connected to spirit and have that be your guide. And then the rest will just kind of fall into place. You might be in the beginning of your transition, but you'll get to where you want to get to. You'll get to where you want to get to. Hey, there's times I wake up in the morning and I think to myself, oh my God, when I look in the mirror, I'm like, oh dear Lord, I have to put it all together. What I'm saying is, if you're obsessing on the physical, there's always going to be something. Oh, this needs to be tweaked. Oh, I want this. I want curly hair. My hair's straight. I want curly hair. My hair's Curly, I want straight hair. Like what I'm trying to say is like there's always gonna be something. So try to find that peace within yourself, that solace. Because like I said, when it's all said and done, we don't take any of this with us. The only thing we take with us is our spirit. So I just want to encourage all the trans people around the world to shine just the way you are. Shine bright. And on that note, I have to now send it over to our guru extraordinaire, our guru creme de la creme. You know what it is about Jimmy? Jimmy, aka Shannon, she has such a calming spirit about her. And it's like this still, calm, peaceful, loving spirit that just comes through with her. And I think that that's what comes through to all our viewers. So, on that note, let me toss it over to Shannon.
Wow. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Thank you for this opportunity. So today we're talking about 50 shades of trans and what this means to me. So all humans, we all basically have, 2 arms, 2 legs, 2 eyes, 2 ears, a nose, and a mouth.
Hopefully.
And we all have a heart, a spirit, and a mind. And so for however many people are on the planet, for how many people have been before us, and for however many people will come after us, we're all so uniquely different. And I heard some really profound things here so far today, in that there's 1% of the less than 1% or less of the world's population is transgender. That's a lot of people. And I was thinking that's like we could start our own international association of transgender persons. I mean, wow, we fill a few football stadiums with that. So, but yet we're all different. So let's talk about a football stadium. If you've ever gone to a game or a concert, I know Bonnie went to a concert the other day, and I'm sure if you look around in the lobby or you look around, everyone is completely different. Completely different. And what's interesting about the journey of a trans person is that I think it was Raji was saying we feel this way on the inside first, and then as we develop, we begin to discover ways to express ourselves externally or on the outside. And it's that process that I think concerns a lot of trans people. And I think someone mentioned already today also that, we are the managers or the architects of our own life. So what may work for one person may not necessarily work for me. And I know in my early stages of my flower blossoming, I'm talking to some other trans girls, and a girl to be feminine has to stand a certain way. A girl takes up less space, so your feet need to be closer together when you're standing. So I tried this a bit, but it didn't feel right for me. And I'm like, holy cow, something's wrong. And then I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. Then I see some alpha females in the gym, and I discovered there's such a thing as an alpha female. Not all females are feminine. Some females are alpha. And the alpha females stand and they let their presence be known. So it took this whole process, and I think that Ella even mentioned the process never ends. It doesn't end. It's like we're climbing a mountain that has no top. So it's that journey. I think it was Bonnie was saying, and enjoy, and not only enjoy, but cultivate our own journey. And a lot of it's trial and error. Where I'm at now, I see people I was using to make up a certain way, and I know Bonnie, Raji mentioned something about a foundation a while ago. She was doing it all wrong. And so I've learned the hard way along with some of this stuff, what works, what doesn't work, how to modify my clothes so they fit a certain way, different exercises I can do in the gym to modify my physical appearance so my body looks more in line with my spirit and my mind. So all these things are, it's almost like a giant experiment. And some things are going to work and maybe some things aren't. So we learn by trial and error what works, what doesn't work. But getting back to the 50 Shades part, it's almost, we could rephrase it almost as it's an infinite number of shades.
Yeah.
There's just an infinite number of ways how people can be. And that's the beauty of being a trans person, is that we are like, I consider myself a form of art. And I'm adjusting my body in such a way that my and I saw this a while ago, I want my message that I have for my purpose on this planet, the messenger, which is me, has to the message has to match the messenger. So I want my message to the world to be that of peace, love, and harmony, of tranquility. And so I try to create an appearance that projects that message. And it's taken my entire life to get to where I'm at right now. And I'm not even to like the first base yet. So it's an endless journey. And that's the beauty. I think I mentioned this just a minute ago. The beauty about being a transgender person is that we are in the position to create ourselves as only one can see themselves. I can go to all the therapy I want. I can talk to all the people I want, but I am the creator of myself based on how my own perception of myself. And I think that's the beauty of the 50 Shades of Trans. Raji.
Oh, wow. Wow. Thank you so much, Jimmy. When you talked about the people that came, before us, and, the people here now and the people that are yet to come, and how, no one is the same. I thought I couldn't help to think about our fingerprint. Millions and millions and millions, billions of people have been born and died, and no one has had the same fingerprint. That's powerful. When you think about that, that in itself solidifies that we all are here to be our own unique being, whatever that may mean. So thank you for, you got my mind thinking, and I was like, wow, the fingerprint.
Okay, so that's okay. So let's expand on that. The fingerprint. How about the person print? If there's if our fingerprints are unique to ourselves, then let's look at the whole person. My person print. My person print. There's not another person like me, you, Ella, Raji, all of us. We're all unique to ourselves. And that's the beauty about being a human. It's just, it's magical. Raji.
Wow.
Yeah,
Thank you for that.
I would just like to add something on that theme and something that Raj told about, the appearance of the people. We've made a little post called Clothes Don't Have a Gender. Incredible post, which had about, how many? 2,500 likes.
Woo!
And unfortunately, many people were a little bit negative about it. But one has to really understand something which is very important. Being transgender is not, the clothes is just the expression. Being a transgender is here. It's your gender. It's what you identify with. I have to say, myself, sometimes I really identify being as a woman when I'm naked, no clothes. That's when I really identify as a woman. Clothes is a form of expression, and you add them to add to your expression. But it was inside of you, which is important.
Wow. Thank you.
Yeah, trans is between the ears.
Absolutely. It's
Yep.
not
Trans is
Not-
between the ears.
Not between the legs, between the ears, right?
That's not what you have on.
Bonnie, you have any closing thoughts?
Listen, I think that this subject is so broad. And with everything that I've been seeing on Facebook and what all the different things people have been saying, that I've come to the conclusion that a lot of people, even trans people, are confused that there is no script. You are the person that you are, and that's who you are. Some are thin, some are heavy, some are bodybuilders, some are running athletes, some are models. I mean, what I'm trying to say is whoever you are, that's who you need to identify with. Find other people that identify like yourself, and everything else is noise. And understand it's noise, and understand that people are always going to have stuff to say. And as long as you can get up in the morning, look at yourself in the mirror and be happy. You won. You won. It's like, not that it's a game or a race or you get a pin, but bottom line in life, people think the people that die with the most toys wins. And I'm going to tell you, the people that dies with the most toys usually has the most ulcers, heart attacks, and everything else goes on with it. Whereas the people that go through life and are happy and find joy and find positive in everything that they do and seek out positivity, they're the real winners.
Yeah, because let me tell you, you can't take any of those toys with you, can you? My God. Yeah. Oh, powerful, everyone. Just absolutely powerful. I think this was just such a wonderful show, and we all had something so impactful to bring to the table, the virtual table. So I want to thank everyone for tuning in, and any last thoughts, or are we done?
Just thank you very much for following us, and thank you very much.
Write in, look at us on YouTube, give us comments, tell us subjects that you want us to talk about, and we will talk about them. We're here for you, not for us.
Amen.
And we love you.
Amen. Wow. So on that
Bye,
note,
everyone.
Yeah, bye. On that note, I want to wish everyone love, happiness, peace, good health, prosperity, and many wonderful blessings. Namaste.
Namaste. Bye-bye. Bye.